Greetings, Catboticans. All 3D CATBOT assets complete. Replicat assembly launch timeframe. Juliet. Uniform. Lima. Yankee. Security threats increasing. Do not engage with messages from unknown senders. Exercise caution with all external links. Protect yourselves and your CATBOTs. Carry on, Catboticans.
Hello. Welcome back to our CATBOT Cafe for this week. It's been a crazy week in the marketplace. So we have a great show for you today and some great guests. And we wanted to just reconnect with you and share what's up. Turning over to Enkoy.
Thanks, Jin. So good to see you and so good to see everybody watching tonight. Thanks so much for joining us. We got episode 21 with some shout outs, 3D sneak peeks, Han River boat cruise, NFT NYC. Our community guest tonight is Dapper Dinos. We got the review on giveaways, community questions and suggestions, and last but not least, words of wisdom. So let's do some Catbotica shout outs. Shout outs to Tiger Lake, who posted some fan art and a fun video on our Discord. Let's take a look. One more time. Wow, looks like way of Jin dancing to our K-pop Catbotica theme song. Jin, you got some great moves there. Where'd you learn how to dance?
I'm gonna have to start practicing my real moves. I'm glad the team's having a lot of fun here. Appreciate that. It's always great that we have fun, play, creativity come together. So great job, guys.
Yes. Playing creativity. Let's play the other video from Tiger Lake.
Ooh.
I love what he's been doing with the 3D assets, taking the pictures, still grabs, and then turning them into like these 3D tilty things. It looks so cool. Thanks so much, Tiger
that
Lake.
one looked just gorgeous, that one.
Yeah, just loving the posts he's doing. So this caught our eye on socials this week. Mike Kim posted some fan art on our Discord, continuously working on this before she forgot to add some claws, and looks like she got to add them in there tonight. Loving the watercolor action too. So much cool.
Look at those colors.
Yeah. We got Newports posted this beauty on Discord. He said he's tried his best to draw a CATBOT in 5 minutes. We love it. Just keep it coming, guys.
Yeah. Totally mint worthy right there.
Nice, cute, chubby cat there. Jin, we had the Han River cruise last weekend. So much happened there. I was like looking at all the pictures on Twitter, and we're just like talking about it as founders. It brought Rawls to tears. Jin, tell us all about you're actually there.
Yeah, it's there's so much to say about the actual event itself. The experience that people had, I think, for me personally, I could speak anecdotally just from my own experience, was just being there and meeting with so many of the holders and experiencing IRL, the environment and the community that we have. We speak so much about community, and we've had these little pockets of meetings here and there and engagement with people. But to see it on a larger scale happening was remarkable. It's amazing to see how the community has really come together. We started really so focused on the development side of things and really pushing forward on the things that we can really do. But what's been amazing is how the community has actually coalesced around the project and really created an environment where they're meeting together and having these smaller group meetings. And then when they come together to actually see those relationships cemented and people like, oh, this is like, that's you. And, you see those happen all the time. And to be able to come together in such a fashion on a boat that many people haven't experienced over there as well. It was the first time being do something like that. There was so much to that. And I think one of the highlights really were there's the talent show, just to see the talent that is in the community. But is a lot of projects are kind of watching the developers are watching the projects develop, and to see the community actually participate in the actual experience was again, the word remarkable comes to mind, because when the community members are actually in the show itself and part of the show, it's no longer a spectator event. So I meant to say spectator earlier. It really becomes a participatory experience. And that's something where we are now collectively both the development team and also the community come together in togetherness to be able to create what is essentially now Catbotica. And that really leads into where we're kind of heading in the future. So more on that when it comes to roadmap and also where we're heading into in the next couple of months, especially with the current market conditions where they are. So we have still so much planned, but this really experience just encapsulated how far this community has come. And just a huge shout out also to all the volunteers who helped, to the team. They worked their butts off on this one, but the protectors, these guys are holders. These folks are holders, but they were there volunteering their time and energy and effort. Got there early at 3:00 and for hours just help bring their fellow holders onto the cruise. And they missed part of the show because of that. So it was just really big, huge shout out to them for helping their fellow holders and just really making the whole experience just a wonderful experience. So to see fellow holders and fellow community members both contribute their time and effort, but also just showcase their talents, it really brings it just full circle. The community is just serving each other and helping each other out. You cannot really ask more of the community. So the event itself, you'll see a lot of photos, and we have some videos that we will be producing, and that'll give you a better sense of what the experience was like. But to be able to take that, I told the communities, you really are just giving the team so much energy and so much drive and support to be able to really move into what the future of CATBOT is going to hold. And going into NFT NYC next week, we can bring that to other projects, other collaborations we're talking to. Just say that, people say they have the best community, but we literally do have the best community. So I can go on and on. This experience is just fantastic.
And I must say, we literally also have the best looking Catbotica cake I've ever seen in my life. That cake looks amazing. So yeah, thanks so much for everyone who made it out. The Jung Media actually put together an awesome little montage. Let's just take a look at that. Again, thank you so much for everyone who made it out there and made it all possible. Lots of hours went into putting that together. So we just want to thank the community for putting that all together and having an awesome event. Lots happening with Catbotica. Also, lots happening in the crypto market. This past week, the crypto market was going crazy. Jin, I'm just curious to know what your thoughts are on all this.
Yeah, there's a lot of fear out there currently in regards to where the entire marketplace, really crypto and NFTs. And that's one of the things that for us, we've always emphasized how we're really built for the long term. So one of the things that we just wanted to convey was, in spite of the cratering of the Ethereum, the prices, actually every single cryptocurrency essentially at this stage, and there's still a lot of uncertainty. We don't want to put sugar on this and say that everything's going to be fine, because there still is going to be some rough waters ahead. So where that's going to go and how long it's going to last, those are things that no one really knows. But the one thing that, as we saw when it comes to the community, is those communities and those projects who have such an incredible community and really can support and be there for each other and with each other, those are the ones that I think are really going to be able to shine on the other side of that. So one of the things that the position we're taking is, on the NFT and the development on the team side of things, we have a huge roadmap, right? And we have a lot of things actually we haven't even announced and haven't really shared fully with our community. We're just going to keep building. That's our full intention. We've said that from the start. And how it is that we can really bring our community, I was going to say bring our community with us, but the community just stepping up and being part of this is really such a big part of that. That's why the Han River Cruise, for me, was such a seminal moment in our development phase right now, because knowing that the community is there with us and knowing how incredible they are and how supportive they are, gives me, and I think our team, really just tremendous amount of feeling of support that we're not going to go at this alone, because we can go on the development side of things and keep tracking all those things, which we will do. But to know that we have a group of holders that are with us and that we can support each other, it's so important, especially in this NFT, crypto, decentralized creator economy, Web 3.0 ethos, all those things that really bring more people together and work together and stick together. Those are the teams and those are the groups that will really come on the other side of this. So I know that the crypto winter out there could be pretty chilly. I know that the cruise was very warm, both physically pretty hot, because some of the air conditioning had broke down actually. But it was quite warm, but the warmth really came from the community. I mean, I felt really just so touched by how people came together. And I think as we continue here, one of the things that I'm observing in the marketplace is that, sure, there's a lot of fear out there, but there's also a lot of anticipation, how that's gauged in terms of time-wise. This is going to be 6 months, 9 months, or longer. No one can really know. But regarding how it is that you can prepare for when the crypto winter does wrap up, that's where I think really people are at, and that's where our focus is going to be. So what I mean by that is people want to learn. So we're going to continue and re-emphasize or pivot back into more education and have our community members. Actually, we have some really, really talented, very well educated and very well positioned community members that we want to start hearing from. So that's one element of it. And people are wanting to be ready for when the next leg up comes, because as we all know, markets are cyclical. It's going to go down, it's going to go up, and it's going to go sideways. And when we are positioned and you are positioned and we can support each other to be positioned in a way on the backside of this crypto winter, things are just going to, I think almost by consensus, everyone that I talk to or speak to really is stating that on the backside of this thing, we are going to see such an explosion when it comes to adoption of cryptocurrencies and even NFTs. That's where we're positioning. So stay connected with the community. It'll keep you warm. Let's huddle together and we'll make it through it for sure. We're going to get a little bit beat up here and there, but I'm extremely hopeful, and knowing that the community is with us here also just gives myself and I think our team just a tremendous amount of encouragement. And I'm kind of looking forward to see what this thing is going to look like. I know that in rough times, those are the times when people come together, they create some tremendous bonds and memories. So I'm looking forward to that as well. So stay the course, and as we will, and let's keep this rocking and rolling. We're going to keep this thing going.
Thanks so much, Jin. I love what you said there. We worked on many projects as professionals before, but I have to tell you, this is totally different because we're building it together with you. That's the number one difference there. So we just want to thank you for supporting us since 6 months ago when we started with the launch of the 2D Genesis CATBOTs. And right now we're working towards replicats, and soon you'll be able to take your NB1s, burn it, and upgrade your 2D Genesis CATBOTs to a 3D CATBOT. This week, we're happy to announce that we are 100% done with modeling all the assets. I just want to give a hand to the 3D team. Way of Will, let's see some of that 3D goodness.
Hey, thanks so much, Koichi. And today I have here with us, I don't think anyone's ever met Conrad before, but we have Conrad.
Hey guys. Hi, my name is Conrad. I'm also part of the 3D team, and I do basic stuff like substance painting and rigging stuff. Yeah,
Conrad's been a huge help to the 3D teams, really pivotal on a lot of the things that we're trying to solve, anything from rigging to helping us with the shader development. And he's just a mixed bag of everything, very similar to Sunkill and Matthias on our team, who multidisciplined, really just improving so much day in and day out, and just watching what they do every day, and taking the direction, and the tight deadlines, and we really do treat this like it is a real studio, but just remote, but with a lot more just like comfort in terms of like sharing information, sharing what we've learned, and adding Conrad to the team. I think it's been about 2.5 months now, Conrad.
Yeah, about 3 months. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just seeing even your growth from that then to now is staggering. So we have some seriously talented people on this team, and we're going to show you some cool stuff today. So I'm really happy that Conrad is here, so we can kind of explain as we're looking at what we're about to see, some of the challenges that we faced, and just as an artist and as a technician, just would love to hear your thoughts on a few things. But just a real quick, update on where we're at on the 3D. Well, I mean, good news is we're pretty much finished. We're finished the 3D asset development, anything from modeling to unwrapping to retopologizing, and the shader development, as well as now making sure that all the assets are in place for rigging, which Conrad, if I'm not mistaken, you had a ton of input on when working with Koichi and their team.
Yeah.
And now we got to run everything through its paces. So we'll be able to show you guys this in the coming weeks, but all the development work that was happening behind the scenes in Blender and Unreal that takes a specific number of a CATBOT and then assembles them kind of like a Catron together, all the pieces, the shaders, the lighting, and then actually this one test that we've been trying to go through Unreal Engine, for example, and bringing all the shaders and compiling things in Unreal to see how the assets perform in sort of like a game engine environment. That's what we're going to kind of show you guys today, along with a little bit of eye candy. So without further ado, I'm going to hit play on this quick little animation that we put together, so you guys can sort of like revel at everything in situ. And here we go. So again, what you're looking at here are a couple of the assets just in this Unreal environment, and this is all playing back in real time, and you'll recognize some of these assets. So Conrad, why don't you talk about some of these assets and what we're looking at, and what it took to shader and get some of this stuff ready with you and Sunkil and Matthias.
Yeah, so I mean, like the fishing rod you see right now, like we substance painted that, and yeah, it was really fun, like getting these kind of textures together, and yeah, we had a great time together, and we learned a lot. So really, we started like from zero. Like me personally, I wasn't really experienced in most of the substance painting stuff, and now I really feel comfortable like shadering completely. I feel like I know every button in this program. It's like, yeah, really fun for me learning all this stuff and also getting to shader all of this stuff. And yeah, for me, it was always a great time here.
Yeah, I mean, look at this sword.
Yeah, this sword breaks up.
Did you actually work on this sword?
And Sanki worked on this sword. Yeah, the vegetations all look really, really great. We're really proud of them. Yeah, especially.
I mean, I'm blown away by these shaders. Like, on one side, and this is kind of like an open conversation, because my background is primarily, visual effects and high level kind of shadering, and working with Rawls and you guys in the team. Rawls obviously wants things to look a certain way, but in the process of us building this, working together as a team, knowing that when we put this in situ, like in a game or even in like a television show, we're going to want to have some of those 2D sort of hybrid sensibilities that Rawls and I have been discussing. But talk about sort of just like the process of just day in and day out, like modeling and shading and texturing these things.
Yeah, we really had a fun time making these. For example, these, like you see there, we really spent many hours on making every kind of detail there, and like to make it look good in every kind of perspective, not from the overall, but really even if you get closer, and yeah, to really see the detail in each kind of asset is really important to us.
Right. I mean, these are 3D, right? I mean, from the 2D perspective, you don't really get to see all of it, right? And for example, you don't see behind the wings in the 2D version, but I asked you guys to do all the details for everything from every angle. And
yeah, of course.
You certainly did.
Yeah, and also like many of these assets aren't just assets, they're also going to be movable. So you're gonna see them move. For example, the wings or the octo arms, you're gonna have a really nice bending animation, and it's gonna look great in the end. Yeah.
Yeah, and here's the beautiful thing. You guys might actually notice there are some errors, like some what are called flip normals, and we'll talk about this. Let me just pull back. I mean, look at the detail on this. Like, first of all, seeing Rawls's 2D design go from his 2D design to this, I mean, it's so cool to see this.
Yeah, it's really crazy. I really spend a lot of time on this mask, for example. Like, we really want to get the reflection right on here. And yeah, also the next one, the dark mask. It's like, yeah, really detailed painted. And,
I mean, this is the first time we've been able to really showcase this work.
Yeah, I see. And now that I see them, it's like even better in Unreal because I really like the lighting and everything here.
Yeah, you gotta love Unreal. Like right now, we're playing, this back in Unreal 4.27 when I was putting the lighting together in here and just playing with, the differences between, what you could achieve in Blender's viewport versus, what you can achieve and obtain in Unreal. And I mean, it's not, I wouldn't say it's night and day. You can achieve a very similar look in either, but you can't play back like this in Blender.
Yeah, that's really.
And that's the thing that, like, I mean, we're playing this in real time, and you guys are seeing it in real time, which is boggles my mind still till this day.
This new technology is just awesome. Like, this wasn't possible. It's so cool. Yeah.
I mean, it's so funny because Unreal, has only recently in the last few years, tried to convince people to use this for, photoreal finishing, and gosh, I mean, again, this is 4.27. This isn't even 5. We are doing a lot of stuff in 5. 5 gives you real-time, radiosity, or at least faked radiosity through Lumen. And a mixture of that and screen space and some other techniques, nanite to do, super high quality textures. I mean, it's mind-blowing, what you're able to sort of see. So just real quick, you're not going to, a lot of these actually still have a few errors, again, because we're just testing all these assets, but I hope you guys can kind of sort of see and appreciate all the work that we've put into this, and we hope that it really translates once we finally give you guys access to this, and then also we see it in some of the other things that we're trying to pull off, like our metaverse, the game, and also the television show.
Yeah, they're gonna look really awesome together in the game also.
Oh, that gauntlet looks so good.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that is
so cool.
Yeah. I mean, we got to see all of these like every week, but now to be able to see them kind of all in the same environment, sort of sharing a space, and what was this camera doing? That's so cool. Yes.
The sword is really, really good. The golden one.
Yeah, these lightsabers still need to be materialized. But in terms of modeling, topology, and asset dev, like, I've only been able to compile in this room about a third of them. So you guys are missing that. You're missing so much still. And so in the coming weeks, we'll show more. But again, I'll break from this camera just so that you guys can see how, like, real time this is. Like, we are traveling through, and it's kind of, I still find this like so impressive that we're doing this all in near real time.
Oh yeah, this jetpack one was really really good.
So cool. I'll get really close just so you guys can appreciate like the amount of work that went into this. Look at this. This is so impressive. I'm really, really impressed with you guys and like what you guys have been able to pull off here. Now you guys know I love my depth of field, so now I'm just like, getting some macro shots here for you guys, so you guys can just really see how. I mean, these are 2K exports. Am I right?
Yeah, this is right.
They look like 4K, which is just really, really impressive. Oh wow. But yeah, like Conrad, maybe talk to some of the things that you're doing right now on the 3D side, on the rigging side. A lot of people might not know this, but you will know now that in one of our recent trailers, we had one of the rigged catbots dancing to the catbot song. And
Oh yeah.
actually, Conrad actually animated that, and he animated it pretty fast. Conrad, what was your experience animating that, and like, what can you say would be, some of the challenges that we're facing as we're trying to figure out the rigging and the testing around that animation?
Yeah, so I mean, first of all, like the rigging was pretty complicated at first because we had like some issues at the constraints and everything, but then we figured it out, and yeah, I had to like automate really a lot of stuff. So basically, when the arm goes up, then the shoulder piece has to go in, and then it has to automate, and this has to automate. So basically, it's more IK control than I expected at first. And yeah, also the kneecap has to move along the two bending knees. Yeah, which was also a bit complicated to make, but then it looks really, really good in the end. So yeah.
Yeah, I know a lot of people got a kick out of that animation.
Yeah.
Because we've been talking about doing it, and now that we have all the assets ready, we can bring a lot of these things together at this stage, and actually get some animation happening on these assets. And so I'm certainly looking super forward to seeing how that comes together in the next week or two, and then we can kind of do another show and tell. But yeah, just want to say thank you guys for all your patience and letting us kind of like put the love into these assets. Again, this is only a third of them, but as we aggregate more into this environment for Unreal game engine testing and start rigging them together with actual dance choreography, we'll have a lot more to show. But for now, yeah, this is just a little sneak peek as to like just how far we were able to take these. And, really want to thank you, Conrad, and the team for just working so hard and getting it to this level. It's just, I mean, look at this. This is so cool. So cool. Back to you, Koichi.
Yeah.
Guys, that was sick. Thanks so much for all your hard work modeling those assets. We got to celebrate, guys. You guys work so hard. So right now we're in the process of taking all those assets, the 500 plus assets, and then putting together and into our 3D CATBOT generator. And we're going to be doing tests on every single CATBOT, tweaking things here and there. And we're going to definitely keep you up to date as that's going on. Really excited to see those 3D CATBOTs being generated.
I just wanted to shout out to the 3D team. And so Will and Rawls and the whole 3D team, they're working together hand in hand and just working so hard, like nonstop, really burning themselves on both ends of the candle. So really huge kudos to that group and team for just creating an incredible body of work. I mean, kudos, and just so proud of the work that's being done over there. And not to mention also to Enkoi and Enkoi's team, all the programmers and coders that are taking all those 2D assets, converted to 3D, assembling all of them, which is no mean feat. I mean, you're talking about 12,000 NFTs coming together, 500 assets, placing all those, making sure that they're positioned correctly, they're rigged correctly, and everything works correctly. Like if you raise your arm up, what happens if there's a conflict, and how do you resolve those things? The amount of testing that goes behind the scenes on these things are just vast. So when it comes to time, but also quality, is got to be driven by commitment. These guys, both teams are just so committed to delivering a product that everyone is going to be happy with. I mean, I know that everyone looking at what's coming out on the other side of the pipelines they just are so want to make sure that delivery of the quality and the content is going to be something that everyone's just going to be absolutely blown away with. So kudos to all the teams working on that particular pipeline. You guys, congrats on getting to this milestone. I know we've still got some more left to go, but to both teams, just big round of applause to you guys.
Thanks so much, Jen. Yeah, it means a lot to the team. And thanks for everybody's support as we work through this. We have programmers working in the back end. We got D. Luke, and we got another program named Jason, and we're gonna maybe feature them sometime in the show. as we show some 3D replicats. So until then, Jin, do you want to walk us through what's happening in NFT NYC?
Yeah, so NFT NYC is a marquee event in the NFT ecosystem. I was there last year, and about 5,000, 8,000 people were there. So it was pretty massive. It was crazy. It was really hectic. But the value of it was just networking, meeting people. You're rubbing shoulders with devs who are just starting projects or fully in the project, and be able to make those relationships. We made some incredible relationships while out there last year. So I'm very much looking forward for this year. This year, we're also going to have our NFT NYC meetup event. So we have great partners in Sovereign Ventures who found the venue, is getting the DJ. They've been putting a lot of time and effort on this. We've been looking to create an event with them for some time, for months now. So finally, we're able to lock it in and get something together with them. They've been great partners for us from even the beginning before we launched. They were actually one of the first people that we collaborated with and partnered with. So just a huge shout out to Sovereign, Gary, and Ed, and Austin. Those guys are just awesome to be able to get feedback from. They're really working on the NFT on the fund side of things. So to get their insights is absolutely critical. They're also part of a bunch of alpha groups. So to hear what's going on that side. So this is just kind of a quick glimpse of the networking opportunities that we have there. They're bringing in one of their partners, which is also on the fund side of things, investors. And what we've done is also partnered up with, obviously, Metacoms is going to be there. We also have Mech.game is going to be there as well. Voice First and Dapper Dinos. So we have a pretty eclectic group, which is going to be really great for networking because you talk about various topics. So if you can be there, fantastic. We'd love to meet you if you're a holder. If you are a part of one of these groups, we're very much looking forward to finding out what your project's about and how we can collaborate. The space is all about collaboration. Collaborations start with networking. Networking happens at this NFT NYC. So very excited to be going there and just connecting with people. So great to see people there. And if you're there, definitely hit us up. We have that party on the 21st. It is at Freehold in the park. We will be serving actually quite a good amount of food, some great food actually. And we'll have an open bar, live DJ. And if we have any guests that you feel that really should be there, let us know, because we do have some slots that we have available for people to come in as our VIPs. So, and all the holders, of course, come join us. We have a +1 for you guys. So we'd love to see you there. All right. So for today, we have actually a very special guest and someone we've known actually quite some time. We didn't realize until we reconnected at VCon. We have on the show Dapper Dino, and Rick S is here with us. We actually met, I think it was October, November last year. This is we launched. They had already launched at that point in time, but we were on a podcast and we were sharing about our projects. Dapper Dinos we're part of the V Friends and that ecosystem. So that was something that when I went to VCon and Junk Media was there as well. We went to the their after party, and it was just great connecting with Rick and Chris and seeing the kind of vibe that you guys have. It was just like great community. You guys, I think one of your guys had proposed that night or at VCon. I think that was what it was.
One of our team members did propose on main stage. Yeah. I got a big old hug from Gary. That was crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, that was wild. So as you can see, the vibe that you guys have is just fantastic. And you have a big family friendly component as well, which is really it's something that we totally vibe with as well. So welcome to the show, Rick. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Excited.
So tell us a little bit more about the project. Like, what got you started? What's it all about?
Oh yeah, so Dapper Dinos was definitely a passion project. It's funny because I think Chris and I were we both got an opportunity to present at VCon, so we've worked on our intros and they still are terrible. So that's the joke we make. But it was very much a passion project. We're cousins in real life. Both have kids. He's got 2 daughters. I've got 2 now, but I've had one just completely dino obsessed toddler that has been saying parasaurolophus since he's been 2. Chris's kids are both more STEM focused, a little older, helps with a lot of the art. Probably both. I'd say we've both been in NFTs for quite some time. Probably me a little longer than Chris, but both. I think him and I at least go back to CryptoKitties. And And we say that just because it was like we're seeing the space kind of explode. I'm a tech nerd by trade. He's an artist from coming up from MLB and MTV by trade. So it kind of just made a lot of sense to try and put our forces together, do something our kids would be proud of, do something fun to do with our kids. Kind of put pen to paper, put a concept together. Really wanted to lean heavily into that whole family-friendly vibe. Our earliest communities are probably 99% parents doing doodles with their kids, and we had a whole little theme song on the 20 days or 10 days of dinos leading up to launch, and it was all kinds of coloring pages and all kinds of fun that was happening there. And it was just, we really leaned into it. The V Friends PLP came along, which is the pre-launch program. We applied to it, never expecting much from it, to be honest. I mean, it was, I think thousands of projects applied, or at least hundreds. We got an opportunity, pitched it. We got a call from the V Friends team saying they loved it. So much so that we were going to be their first project to launch. They just loved the vibe we were carrying and the mission we were standing for, just the art and everything else. And so that's really, it started from a passion project from our kids, from two dads that have been in the space for quite some time, and definitely NFT obsessed and dino obsessed, and Dapper Dinos was born.
That's awesome. And just hearing the story again I remember the experience hearing about you guys and your story and narrative, how you guys came together. It was just being a dad myself, just to see what you guys are doing, pioneering on that side of things and being active in the space for your kids. I know you guys also had a pretty sizable donation to a program. Can you say something about that as well?
Oh yeah, one of the biggest, well, not the biggest. It was a big donation to Girls Who Code. Very hard to do, believe it or not. It's much easier now. We've kind of helped them onboard to Web3 donations. So we had the opportunity to take a big chunk of our raise, if you will, of our sales, and do a pretty, again, huge donation to Girls Who Code. It's again very much a passion of what we believe in. It's more equality for all. It goes very much to kids and helps to bridge that divide. Again, coming from Chris, who's got 2 daughters himself, very much again art and STEM focused. It was just something we really, really wanted to do. It's also just that whole give back. The entire Karma collection is intended around give back. Pretty much anytime we do a monthly event, we have donations sprinkled throughout it. It's that the whole Web3 vibe is very much give back, right? So we had the opportunity to be launched by the V Friends community, for lack of a better term, and we got adopted by them, if you will. Got countless eyes on us as a result. Wanted probably an extremely successful mint as a result. So for us, it just made sense to take a big chunk of that mint and give back.
Yeah, that's really awesome.
And we have the opportunity to still work with them too. So we still have some programming we get the chance to do with them, and we're hoping this will be the start of a long-term relationship.
Yeah, that was really inspirational to hear. A lot of people talk about community and donating, giving, but seeing you guys actually put your money where your mouth is at, that was really cool. And to see that it's not just a one-time thing, you just start continuing to have that relationship. That was something that, we're always looking for as folks who are looking for long-term relationships. And the fact that you've been around since, when did you launch? It was in September, October?
September. Yep. It was right before, I don't know the exact date anymore. Middle of September. Chris probably knows the exact date. He's really much better at dates with me. Plus, I doesn't have new kids. But yeah, middle of September, our launch was going to get botted. We decided to not let it get botted. It was a kind of a really big deal. We manually minted the entire mint to pretty much long-term fee holders. Did a raffle-based system as fair as we could come up with. We've been holding over 4,000 holders since launch because of it. Really proud of the community we built, and it was seen at our Dino VCon party. That was overwhelming. Just to walk into a room of hundreds of people wearing all kinds of Dino merch and seeing dinos all over VCon was really humbling, and really special. And that's I don't think you understand the power of community or the power of Web3 until you have that opportunity. And so walking into that room was completely like mind blowing.
Yeah, I saw when we were at VCon, I saw a bunch of your jerseys and like hoodies all over the place. So it was really cool to see. And, VCon, speaking of VCon IRL, we have a party coming up that we're throwing together at NFT NYC. We wanted to that's such a big part of what we're doing. And it looks, and what you guys are doing is just the IRL experience, cementing those relationships between going from digital to actually physical and meeting people in real life and how that really expresses itself. So very much looking forward to that. And on the backside of VCon, which was a couple of weeks ago, which probably, in the NFT space is a couple of months ago. But now that we are in this firmly in the crypto winter and where things are at, the common refrain is those projects who are keep building and are going to build, those are the ones that are going to shine on the other side. And that's something that we're building. And I feel like you guys are very similarly constructed as we are, with a great community and really committed to just keep building. And, we're not trying to, do the whole pump and dump and like hype game. So what are you most excited for looking forward to the next couple of months?
I mean, other than crypto winter, which is terrifying, and it's not my first one. It's probably my third one now, and every time it is as bad as it looks. And I think for a lot of the NFT holders and the NFT community, this is, I guess, pretty much the first of its all time, really. Because if you think back to the previous crypto winter of 2017 with 2018, you had crypto punks, you had crypto kitties. You didn't have a whole lot of tremendous capital outlaid towards NFTs, and so I think people are really seeing what liquidity looks like and what floors look like and what happens. It definitely gets a little bit more toxic than I'd ever like to see. A lot more attacking, make number go up, make floor go up. And I think the best communities are the ones that are still just trying to focus on the mission, push the space forward. So, you brought it up. Like, what's really exciting for us is, trying to band together the community, the family projects, right? What is going to make our name and our unique carve out in this space is going to be, banding together with projects of like minds, with like drive, with trying to build something that actually is tangible. And that's the other thing, right? There's a very much Goblin Town is a great example of like no roadmaps, right? That's the new thing. 3 minutes, no roadmaps, CCO. And there's nothing wrong. They've done a phenomenal job. I saw they did docs. They very much made like that community is power and marketing is power. Absolutely. I'm not knocking it. I'm lucky enough to have one. I will say though, however, that, trying to hit on your roadmap and trying to push the space forward is hard to do at all, harder to do in crypto winter for us. We're excited to kind of take that play to earn mantra and turn it more into play to play. I think the more recent buzz we've been using, which I'd like to say we've been using before it now took its own, like, it's all over Twitter now. So I'm like, look, we've been saying this for a month now, 2 months. It's Web 2 to Web 3, right? If you make a really, really fun Web 2 game and you start, then you incorporate the Web 3 aspects, you start incorporating, your dinos, you start incorporating what you identify as into these very well-known tropes, if you will, of Web 2. That's going to be the future. It's not going to be, and I've been screaming this kind of the top of my lungs since I've been seeing the market going the wrong direction of, timing the market's hard. If you time it perfectly, everything will be fine, sure, but ultimately somebody's going to be left holding the bag, because that is the current state of crypto. And it's just exciting for us to just really focus on the fun, right? So it's not only just family friendly for us. The Dino Dash, being the first thing we're trying to build, is a lot of fun. It's a pickup on your mobile, your phone, your PC, and just do an endless runner and just have a lot of fun. It lets us introduce new communities, get involved, new level design, and then you start introducing all the different Web3 aspects that will ultimately grow your brand, grow your community, grow your reach, and then if you then want to tokenize, you want to do any of these other more DeFi focused things, right, you'll have a more solid base to grow from. Right, if you look at Fortnite, they don't have Web3. They're also a multi-billion-dollar company or whatever they are anymore. They did it from what? They did it from building a really fun game off a huge community. And that's where I think, for us, if you just focus on just a profile picture, it is a little limiting. And so that's why we're trying to push the space forward into that again, family-friendly fun.
Bro,
and that's,
I love it.
What we're most.
Yeah, I love your passion, the excitement. Clearly, you can see that you're just like, this is like you're just living this entirely. But backed by the insights that you have, being in the space for so long, and also the experience now, and just being a thought leader when it comes to where the space really needs to go. So really just so excited to be working with you guys. We have, starting off with this, and we're going to be doing some collabs and giveaways and, throwing this party together. But we've talked about, collaborating on the game and our My CATBOT. So very excited to see where that goes. And as you mentioned,
I mean, the My CATBOT has me excited. Like, truly gets I'd be remiss if I don't at least mention this. Like at our party, right? It's like you can turn it into a coloring book, and it was like because it's the little things, though, right? Like the little things done right have immense power. Like that is something you can give to your kid, and they get excited, right? That's like you've now not just you've gotten both parents involved. You've now gotten your kids involved. You've now gotten 3 new people in the community who are going to show it to somebody else, who's going to show it to somebody else. And that's organic growth. That's company building. That's world building.
Yeah, exactly. That's, we're stoked for that. So we're looking at doing integrations both on your side for your side scroller game, and for Dapper Dinos to jump into the My CATBOT ecosystem and create something similar. So very excited for that. And of course, the top level game on this is creating a family friendly alliance. If we can really coalesce all the groups together, I think it's going to be a showstopper and really have that kind of impact, especially now with education being so important and collaboration even being more important in the space now, and really the quality projects coming together. So very excited for that, Rick. It was just fantastic having you on the show. Thank you for making the time, and I look forward to seeing you guys next week at NFT NYC.
Likewise, appreciate it.
Thanks so much, guys. Great interview. We look forward to seeing you at NFT NYC. And we have a lot more fun things happening, like the CATBOT jackpot. So let's take a look. After the last CATBOT Cafe, we held another game night in the Discord to give out some prizes to our community. Here are the winners. First off, our planners got lucky. Planner 7 won 3,000 experience points in Discord, and Planner 10 won an easy guitar song from Mickey. Make sure to let him know what you want to hear. I can't wait to hear Mickey play that song. Tiger Lake walked away with 2 prizes this week, a month of Discord and a beautiful NV1. Polo Goose also won an NV1, and Tea Trees will get a shiny NV2. And last but not least, Joe Bus Life won a CATBOT Spotlight for us to put on Twitter. So be sure to send his CATBOT some love this week. Congrats to all the winners. And, we'll see you on Discord right after this for more jackpot picks. Now, for the community questions and suggestions, a question we had this week about the 3D Replicat tokens. Polo Goose asked if the tokens will be animated or if they'll just have a generic background or setting. Then Newports asked if our tokens will have multiple files to choose from visible in OpenSea. So Way of Jin, what do you think of these questions?
The team is putting tremendous amount of time, effort, and energy into creating a OpenSea experience that's going to be just top notch. That includes animations, and we will have files that will be downloadable. We're still currently working through the actual formats and what the files are going to be currently. We're still doing a lot of testing with the viewers that are compatible with OpenSea. There's some limitations. So we do have some work that we do have ahead of us, but we are pretty excited with the current results that we have. And I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. So for both of those, we're working pretty hard in delivering on both questions.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you guys for those great questions. Keep them coming on the Discord. And tonight on the show, let me see. Oh, we got Arc Father there smiling, and I like your white shirt on the white background. You're looking very happy. Any thoughts to share tonight?
Yeah, I think my thanks go out to everyone who made the cruise real. We set up the infrastructure, but really it's everyone else who did all the hard work, sacrificed themselves, made it successful. I can't thank you enough for that. And I want you to know that we all recognize it and appreciate it. It's just, it wouldn't have happened without everyone's involvement. The current situation with the marketplace and everyone wondering what's going to happen. What's interesting to me is our 2,000 entrepreneurs are experiencing life to the fullest. And one day you'll go back 10 years from now and say, I was there in 2022. I saw the markets, what they did. I had these CATBOTs. as NFTs. I had these other projects I was involved in. And here's the 20 lessons I can pass on to you on what I saw happen. And it's when you lead a boring life, it's one thing. If you're lucky enough to have a rich set of experiences, you're living life to the fullest. And these are just very strong learning experiences. I don't know what the market's going to do. So we're going to unknown. But we all know that we're going to have a lot of stories to tell and share after we've gone through whatever we go through. And that's worth a huge amount in the growth of being an entrepreneur, an angel investor, a creator, refining your skills at how to make decisions and judge things, risking, losing, winning. There's so many wonderful, rich lessons that everyone's experiencing that they don't realize will help them going forward. Thanks.
Amazing. Seize the day. I mean, I'm definitely going to be looking back at these years and probably saying they were probably the best years of my life working on Catbotica. I mean, it was just such an amazing project. What about you, Jin?
Yeah, you know, in even the protectors meeting that we had a week and a half ago, which was such an incredible experience just to see and engage with community members and have those conversations about where the community is at. I was already hit with the sense of nostalgia. It's like, you know, the founders, I think we've had enough experience in business and human relations and things of that kind where, you know, when you're on to something special and when you have these moments, you recognize how fleeting things are and these moments can be, and to really enjoy the process. So I was sitting there and I told the protectors, I was like, guys, in 6 months from now, even, we're going to look back on this and be like, wow, this happened and we were there at the beginning, or we were there fighting through, or we survived, you know, the summer meltdown of 2022. So to be able to say these and share them as war stories, I think one of the biggest things as an entrepreneur that I'm thinking about is really, as long as you don't die and you don't give up, everything is it builds character, and you just keep building, you know. So I think we're just taking all of our experiences and just applying them directly to this particular project. All the experiences collectively in our lives, that's myself, you know, Nkoi, Renee, Will, Rawls, we're taking all this cumulative, I guess, decades now of experience and putting it here. So when we talk about being able to create that community, this is the resource that I think that we are for our community. And this is where I'm loosely calling it Catbotica 2.0. This is also part of, you know, where the Catbot Cafe is, where we're going to go with that, where the community is and education and really engaging the community on the educational processes. That's where collaboratively working together, learning from each other, growing together. I tell you, this is going to be a very, very unique experience for all of us included. We're crafting it together. So make no mistake about it, is that this is not just us now. This is actually not just the team, but this is the community. This is the team together, working together. The totality of Catbotica is starting to emerge. I'm starting to really experience, I get the chills thinking about it. Like, where is this going to go as a community, as a team, as a project? I mean, we have so much left to develop that we really have barely scratched the surface. Even on a roadmap, we're probably 30% of what the roadmap really can be. So just, you know, so stoked to be here. You know, the one sentiment that I also feel right now is just a tremendous amount of gratitude. I mean, just gratitude to be in this position, to be here with this group, this team, and this community. There's really no other way to really describe that. And especially in a time when things are rough and things are going to get rougher. You know, these are the moments where you're like, oh man, who can I turn to? And I look to my side, I see my founders. I look to the other side, I see the team, and I spin around and I see their community. And it's just like, wow, this community is dope. This is incredible. Where are we going to go with this? So it just fills me with a tremendous amount of hope and optimism, and just doubling down on commitment and just keep building. Just keep building. That's the refrain you hear all over the place. And that's what the name of the game is right now. Just keep building.
Can I provide another coincidental insight? For half an hour, 45 minutes before this call, I had the pleasure of being with someone on Zoom who was very close friends with Steve Jobs and was working as well for him. And we were sharing all the stories about the 1980s, 1990s, what Steve went through, everything from personalities to how the Mac evolved, to Microsoft, to Scully coming to Apple. But the main thing that stuck out was I was so honored to speak to someone that lived in those days, and that we could share stories about those 3 decades. So we're talking about 30 years later, realizing how fortunate we were to have lived in those times and watched those times go by and the different events and what Steve went through as he drove back from Pixar to Apple, back and forth daily. Couldn't get his helipad approved by Pixar, by Disney, by Pixar. He couldn't get it approved to make his driving easier. And there's just so many stories that people have to share. And hopefully literally the next decade, there's no reason why everything we're building can't have these treasures of stories that we can share 20, 30 years from now. I plan to be around, by the way. And so there's so many stories that will take place and experiences and inside understanding of what it took to get to wherever we'll be. And so for the 2,000 people involved with us in this journey, you'll be able to talk about it 30 years from now because you were there at the time. And I found it's so strange, and I was so honored. And I expressed to the individual how lucky we were to have lived in those times and gone through them at the detail level that we did. And that's what's happening now, but you're not really aware of it when you're going through it. Thanks.
Thanks so much, ArcFather. Thanks so much, Way of Jen, for reminding us to stay grateful and just, just enjoying this. I mean, we're so lucky. So, we're enjoying what we've been through, and we're actually going to enjoy what's coming up next. So, Jim, why don't you walk us through some of the upcoming events?
So we have NFT NYC coming up very soon. That's going to be, a great experience. We're very much anticipating that. Again, do hit us up if you're going to be there, or if you know someone who's going to be in town that you really want us to meet. More than happy to meet with them as well. This is really about the networking and connection. So love to be able to connect with the hosts. We're really looking forward to meeting some of you folks that we haven't met yet. And after that, we are really revamping on the CATBOT Cafe. So we are going to be taking a 2-week hiatus to be able to do all those things. And I kind of loosely referenced the Catbotica 2.0. We have been really focused a lot on the Catbotica development team, on the team side of things, and that be kind of the driver. Right now, what we're looking to do is actually start engaging more collaboratively with the community. This was the intention from the beginning, but just because of the need to develop and all the things that we need to actually deliver on, it was actually really challenging to be able to have enough time and space to be able to engage the community. But as you can see behind the scenes and slowly and gradually, we're working together with our community managers and our protectors, and eventually trickle down to really everyone in the community to really engage folks about what happens in the next couple months on the roadmap, and also NFTs even. But we have a lot of really exciting developments happening when it comes to the site, like the community itself and how to engage the community in different activities the community can be working on. So we'll be rolling that out in the next couple of weeks, so that we do want to take some time just to prepare ourselves and the materials. And I also think that the team needs a bit of a break here. So some people are gonna, we are human. It's summer. People are gonna be going and taking a brief pause just to regroup and recover. But really, for the purposes of coming back, just refreshed and recharged to go back into the fray. And as we know, 3D replicats are coming soon, and that's going to be a major milestone for us as well. So we are building and planning a pretty large campaign on how to bring this to the larger audience, and also to bring more holders in so you can really enjoy the entire ecosystem of the community. So in that respect, working with the community hand in hand, to reach out to other people that you feel are just great people, would be great additions to the community, or have some sort of skill set, or well connected, or just people you want to be part of this community with. Invite them in, have them check it out. We're right now with the positioning on Ethereum pricing. It actually makes the entry point so much easier for a lot of people where it could have been a barrier in the past. So that's something that I think also works in our favor. And as this crypto window deepens and things get a little colder, a lot of projects and a lot of the chatter or a lot of the fluff that really shouldn't have been there, we're going to start to see the drop off. And what that means is our community and our project is really going to stand out head and shoulders above others. And that's something that works to our advantage, distinct advantage. And we're also looking at working with other similar type projects to collaborate with, that are also built for the long term and are here to sustain and really match our ethos and really feel that it's a good fit for us. So those are the different areas. So not necessarily a upcoming event, but there's a series of things that are happening on the back end of things that we wanted to convey to some degree. We'll also be having some announcements, going a little bit more into detail on that as well. So look forward to that on Twitter and Discord. And just keep building. We're gonna keep having more events over the course of the next couple of months. They are going to be more community driven. So we'll be working with that, with our community, with you guys on that. And we'll have more to share on the back of 2 weeks. Keep in mind, we're not going away. We are still going to be here. So AMAs and the Friday nights will still be here, and we'll still be communicating via Discord and Twitter. So if you do need to reach out to us, feel free to do so. We're just taking a pause on the CATBOT Cafe. So we'll be back after and refreshed and recharged from there.
Thanks so much, Jen. Yeah, our next CATBOT Cafe will be in 2 weeks on Friday, June 8th, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. And don't worry, if you have nothing to do on a Friday night, bring a friend to game night and, have some fun. That's why we have it, right? And have fun. You might win a CATBOT, you might win some NV1s or Discord Nitro. Lots of fun. That's what we're all about here. No matter what happens, we're always going to have fun. So please like, subscribe, and hit that bell to receive notifications every time we drop a new video. And don't forget to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok to keep up to date with Catbotica Intel. And as always, thank you so much for joining us. And we'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
So everyone loves cats, everyone loves robots, so we did a CATBOT.
We went and we looked at all of his Instagrams. I saw this one of a CATBOT. I'm like, we gotta do CATBOTs.
We had to take that and build that into what is Catbotica.
With brilliant partners from Blockchain Foundry, we have Fulvio. Hey, Fulvio, how you doing?
Hey, Koichi, how are you?
So I guess we got to update this chart here. We are now at 100% sold out.
We haven't even talked about the rigging or like how this is going to be integrated into the crystallized pipeline. Very, very, very excited to work with them on the gaming levels.
Lovingly asked the 3D team if they could please adjust those things, and this looks beautiful.
What I saw in my head, and then it actually starts to manifest in 3D.
This is ridiculous, guys, I gotta say.
How cool would it feel to be able to work on something that you've created that's like totally original?
네, 안녕하세요. 한국팀 대표 벤들리언이라고 합니다.
We are very, very excited, very happy to announce that we are working with the Hyundai department store in Korea. We signed an MOU with Metacoms.
This is really going to unlock the next stage of development for all the things that we have on the roadmap.
NFTs are here to stay, and anyone who says otherwise doesn't really understand the space.
So the bad news is actually that our NanoCats, we are going to have to push that to early Q2.
We apologize for any errors or mistakes or anything that we weren't able to really deliver in the capacity that we really were hoping for.
We can't ask for a better community. I have to say this over and over again.
The best solution was really just asking the community and seeing what you guys wanted to do. And
the number one utility of an NFT is that it brings people together.
But most important is how can we keep adding value to the first people who bet on us?
Being presented an opportunity to create a new IP, a new brand that has the potential to compete with the best.
Doing the art for Catbotica in particular has been a roller coaster. This is like times 10.
This is unlike more traditional methods of like funding a project. People feel a lot more ingrained, a lot more, oh, this is my project.
Develop a community, have the community enlarge itself as a following to the type of art that they've created.
Three things: it's the artwork, it's the community, and it's the utility.
To be in a situation here where we are launched, we're developing, and to be part of what this NFT world is going to be like in a year from now, in 3 years from now, you're here with us now, so thank you for that.